there you feel ostracized. If I'm being honest, that's death. It's a social death. I'm going to make hijrah or die trying. That's it.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back to my YouTube channel for another video. It's your boy, Abdul Muhsin, also known as the American in Dubai. And today is the 8th episode of my Dubai series of my podcast. And today is a different one, a new style, a new guest. Today I have with me Miss Lashana, also known as Ruqayya. She is a muhajirat. Is that how you say it in Arabic? A female. Yes, a female who has made hijrah. Also a businesswoman, a mother, and ultimately to me, like a big sister. We're going to go ahead and unreveal her story here of how she got to Dubai and how is it being a businesswoman, a mother in the Middle East, and everything that we can get into from about the female perspective of hijrah, being a businesswoman, real estate, the whole thing. So if that sounds interesting to you, stick around to the end. You do not want to miss this. Also, guys, on this podcast, you can go down to the description and you can find a survey for mine and for herself to get information about hijrah and consultation calls, and we have an ebook and all that other good stuff. But nevertheless, let's go ahead and dive directly in. Lashana, tell us, how are you doing?
I'm fine, alhamdulillah. I appreciate you bringing me on finally.
Yes, finally. We actually spoke about this a long time ago. Like, I would love to have you on as a podcast. I didn't know I would get to the 8th episode and actually you will be on here with me. So, okay, can you tell us a little bit about about yourself, like where you're from, what you're doing, and like how you got here to Dubai?
Well, I'm from Philadelphia, born and raised, entire family from Philly, and we came here to the UAE, myself, my children, and my ex-husband.
Okay.
In 2019, actually 2016, actually we came, but everyone came over officially in 2019. So I came over with my shoe business. I'm a shoe designer.
Okay.
And I've been in the shoe business for about 18 years.
MashaAllah.
So that's what I started off with.
Okay.
And my ex-husband came in 2016 to get my first license in Sharjah.
Mm-hmm.
And then that one closed, and we opened up another one in Ajman.
Okay.
In 2019.
So not Dubai.
No, our license is not in Dubai.
Okay.
No, our license.
So
is
it's
not in
possible
Dubai.
for people to get like a license in Sharjah or Ajman as well, not
Yes.
just Dubai. Okay.
Yes, of course. Because the free zones, we're in a free zone. So free zones give you different activities and things like that. So I came over here because I was scouting out the market. I have a unique style of footwear that I design. And I've been searching the market for a long time, studying the Middle Eastern market. I lived in Saudi. I went there to study the market to see what they don't have. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because what I noticed is in the Middle East, they either have the luxury brands, the top luxury brands that everyone knows around the world, or they have the mainstream, like Guess or Babe, what is it called? BB, stuff like that, right? You know, and then, or they have China cheap, you know what I mean?
China cheap.
Like the knockoff, they no one knows what it is. It's just some random stuff. But in the West, we have designers, exclusive designers who specialize in footwear. They all sorts of designer brands, but they're not like top luxury brands. You know what I mean? But they may even be in the middle. So I came to fill that particular niche because I grew up wearing unique footwear, handmade footwear and things like that. So that's basically what my brand represents.
Allah Mubarak. That's absolutely amazing. So like, just to give a little bit more information about that, where can people actually find that handmade footwear? Is there a way where, you know, if sisters are watching or brothers want to gift their wives with something, where can they find it?
Look me up on Google. I am Thaqafa.
How do you spell that?
Shoes, THAQAFAH.
Okay.
Shoes, and it means culture. So,
okay.
Of course, I'm Muslim, and I'm Western. So I made sure the mission behind my brand and the identity behind it was to pay homage to the Muslim craftsmen in the world. So I have craftsmen from Turkey. I have craftsmen from Pakistan,
Mashallah.
India, Bali. They all Muslim. Just so I can stay grounded. You know what I mean? Because you can get carried away in that fashion world. And I wanted to keep my remembrance, in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So I wouldn't get distracted.
Okay, amazing, absolutely amazing. So I want to ask you, you've been here for 8 years in the UAE, and you also said you were in Saudi. So how can you say, because obviously in the UAE, we all have our ups and our downs. How could you say living in the UAE how is it like for you? How has it been for you? And what have you experienced here in the UAE?
For the UAE is absolutely amazing. I won't be moving anywhere else by the permission of Allah, not by my own will anyway. I won't be booking a ticket, making plans to move or migrate anywhere else. This is putting my flag down here.
Yes,
That's it.
Amazing.
I'm not moving because I've tried Yemen, I've tried Egypt. Of course, Saudi was last, and then finally here.
Okay.
This is it. It has everything.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Challenges that people face when it comes to, for example, Morocco and Egypt and even Yemen is that they don't really see a future there. They go there to study, which is fine. You go there for your Arabic, you go there for your Quran, and for those who are studying their beliefs and things like that, they go there for that once they learn the Arabic language.
No.
But they don't have a way forward because they don't learn the language well enough or even the culture well enough to actually integrate into the society and compete with the main locals. You know what I mean? It's a way to do it, but people find themselves just like, okay, once I'm finished studying, then what? UAE has everything for it. Saudi is the same. It's majority, of course, it's an Arabic-speaking country. The majority of people don't speak English. So you have to know the Arabic language if you want to go far in the society, besides teaching the English, being an English teacher.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Or a firm maybe that brought you over who they have English speakers. But for the most part, you have to know the Arabic language to actually penetrate the society. UAE, you don't have to worry about that.
True.
It's for those who they miss that opportunity to go study. I speak Arabic, so I could enter into mainstream society in any of those places if I wanted to. However, most people don't have the time to do that when it comes to your livelihood. You want to move forward and do your thing, unless you're catering to the expat community in Egypt. Because you got some brothers who, like from France, they opened up shops and things like that, and they cater to the muhajirin that come there. But you're limited to that. And maybe the locals will support you, perhaps.
Yeah, definitely.
Your rizq is wherever you go. It doesn't matter. But I'm just saying, the kids want to, how do I get into the society? I don't want to just be in this community, this expat community of English speakers. I want to expand,
And that's everyone's
UAE
goal.
has that for you. It has everything. You don't have any barriers, no language barriers. You can enter any field of work that you want to enter into. You can do any entrepreneurship, if you are independent. Anything. It's open for you. You're not restricted. It's Arabic and English, whichever way you want to do it. You want to go into the Arabic field and get jobs that are exclusively for the Arab, you can do that if you know the Arabic language. If you want to do the English route, plenty available for you.
Okay. So I do want to say something, guys. You guys are here watching the American in Dubai podcast, and this is actually the first time that I've invited on a female guest. And I've done this so that she can benefit the wives and the sisters and the mothers and the daughters and everyone out there, even the aunties that are watching this. So that's the reason why, alhamdulillah, we brought on someone who has knowledge about hijrah, business, and the likes of these things. So, okay, I want to go into the next part before I talk about how we actually met. Now, how is it that how do you cope with having kids here in the UAE? I think that's one of people's biggest fear is that they have kids, bringing their family and kids here in the UAE. And you've been in the Muslim world for how many years? Almost 20?
Yeah, over a period of almost 20 or more, 20 plus, back and forth between the states and
Yeah. So what can you, sincere advice to the women and even to the husbands out there who may be on the fence about coming here because they're scared of bringing their Muslim family here, and how do you cope with having kids here? What are the obstacles?
All right, so I'll say coping. I don't have to cope because since birth I've groomed my children to love the Muslim world, and I've always been on the go. Their entire lives have been between the West and the Muslim world. And even when we were in the West, we were always planning to get back out.
Yes.
So our minds, our activities were always geared towards leaving. I talked about the Muslims all the time. We always aligned ourselves with them, of course.
Yes.
So it was always a part of them. So I didn't have to prepare anything. You know what I mean? I made it a part of my life. Teach them, the Arabic for foundation. They've gone to school in Saudi Arabia.
Schools. How are schools in the
Saudi? Well, in Saudi, they went to public school.
Okay.
Where the national language, of course, is Arabic. So all of the curriculum was in Arabic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they actually got a head start to go through the first grade, second grade in Saudi Arabia. So, and that was my plan. Because I wanted them to get a more naturalized introduction to entering into the society. And what better way to do that than to put them into the local schools? You know what I mean?
Okay.
And they were free in Saudi, but they did go to international school. We paid for the first year, and then they went to the public schools there. So if you don't have that situation, and there are many people who do, and those of us who do have that situation, their children are already fluent in the Arabic language, and they don't have a problem. They can mix with no issue. But those who haven't had the opportunity to do that or prepare them, I would say, talk to your children about every step.
Yeah.
Consider them, especially if they are like teenagers. They already have their friend groups. They already have their lives.
Yeah.
It's upon you to share the benefits of where you're going. You be excited about it so that they'll be excited about it.
Very
Do the
true. research,
present to them, find out if you know what your children like, present to them what's available here in the UAE for them to cater to what they are geared towards. Because when they're teenagers, they have their own minds.
Yes, very true.
They have their own ambitions. You have to consider them. You can't just say, people do that. They pick up and leave. And sometimes that's better for the children, to be honest.
Yes.
Because it's like, don't leave them behind, because that's not the best for them. Sometimes you got to save them from themselves.
True.
And I understand that. Everyone's condition and situation is different. But I already knew from early on traveling. I traveled as a teenager myself. First time going overseas, I was 19. I was a young teenage Muslim, so I understand the mindset of a teenager.
Yes.
So I already knew when I had my children how I needed to raise them and what I needed to do to prepare them so that we wouldn't have this back and forth and, I have them in a particular world and I'm in a different world, or we're not on the same page. I'm like, that's gonna cause a rift.
Yes.
So we all have to be together all the time.
Okay.
So that's what I would say for advice for the parents.
I think that's absolutely amazing. And I think it's quite insightful and very informational. So let's shift the gear a little bit. Now, I want to talk about some of the services that you provide, because not many people don't know is that when I first moved here to the UAE, we actually came across your video, I think, on Facebook. So I was looking to get a visa for or a business setup or something like that, and the price was absolutely skyrocketing.
Yeah.
And then my wife came across you and put me, and somehow I got in contact with your ex-husband, and then we went ahead and got the visa. I actually remember the first time seeing you when I was in my hotel. You were in a white car. You were like in a passenger seat, and I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, that's the guy's wife, and I'm like looking away. But actually, guys, they provide a really good service, and I want to take the chance to say thank you to you guys, your family, yourself, for helping me out with that process, because, now I'm here. And, alhamdulillah, doing well and things like that.
And now we're working together.
And now we're working together,
Alhamdulillah.
So, what would you say your biggest fear is when it comes to, what is your biggest fear?
My biggest fear is returning back to the lands of non-Muslims. That's my biggest fear. I seek refuge in Allah.
But
that's it.
If that was to happen, if that actually happened, let's make the scenario that actually happened. How would you feel?
That's if I'm being honest, that's death. It's a social death.
And why is that? Like, what, from what aspects, so people understand?
Okay, so I'm going to be 100% honest. In America, I've always been an entrepreneur for the most part, or if any job that I did take, it had to be something I could take my children with me. I've had my children with me all the time.
Yes. And how many children do you have?
4.
Okay. Yeah.
I have 4. So they're all big. Okay. So anyways, I've always been able to take my children with me when I did have a job, but most of my life I've been an entrepreneur so I can raise my children. You understand what I'm saying? I purposely did that because being a Muslim in America and covered the way that I'm covered, I've been covered like this since I was 16.
16.
Yes, I've never removed my hijab ever. I've always had a niqab on since I was 16.
Allahumma barak.
So you see how you're treated when you go into public places, when you are in banks, when you go to courts, any of the government buildings. You see how people treat you. You understand? Because we're not the majority.
Yes.
So I never tried to go mainstream corporate America because you don't want to be berated or disrespected constantly. You get what I'm saying? You don't want the looks and the statements because they're going to make comments because they're the majority and they can't. And there's nothing against freedom of, we have freedom of speech, right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing against commenting or making fun of religion, whether that's Christianity or Islam.
Yeah.
So I never thought about going mainstream, and I've always developed myself and my business. Of course, I do business in America. I do business with non-Muslims. I'm very professional and all of those things. But it's on my call. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I don't ever want to be under you guys because I wouldn't be able to deal with how they behave.
No.
Without, maybe saying some things that I shouldn't say.
Yeah.
Or causing a scene. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely.
So in the UAE, I've grown and felt support and freedom because all of those things are against the law. You can't demonize Islam in a Muslim country. You understand? No. Here, anyway, you can't do that.
You can't.
So there you feel ostracized. That's just reality. Maybe everyone doesn't feel that, but me, myself, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
You feel the looks. You see, you hear the statements. They're talking to you as if you're an idiot, and I'm far from an idiot.
Yes.
And then when I express myself, they're cowards on top of that. So they like to cower or change their tone. Like, no, I don't know who you thought I was. I'm doing this by choice. Walhamdulillah, I'm doing this by choice.
Yeah.
But I can't my personality won't allow me to stay under like how I was. I can't be the underdog. So America wouldn't work for me. I need to be in a place where I can thrive, where I can, not necessarily be seen, but respected. I'm Muslim.
Of course.
You understand what I'm saying? I'm Muslim.
We deserve this at the end of the day as Muslims. Yeah.
Exactly. So that would never work for me. Like I said, that's a social death. People are not, they don't respect the religious practice. Even amongst Muslims, you have people who, I guess they have a level of self-hatred, or they're like, well, you have to do what you have to do in order to survive. I got you. I'm not compromising. How about I just leave? I'm going to go somewhere I can do my business, I can thrive, and I can be myself.
Yes.
And no one's going to say anything to me. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or I don't have to constantly worry about getting into a confrontation, literally, like a verbal confrontation or even a physical confrontation.
Yeah, we don't want any physical confrontation.
Because that happens too in the United States, unfortunately.
100% it does. So would you say that you making the decision to get out of the United States, that was one of the best decisions you've made?
100%. I've been on a 20-year binge of just, come on, we gotta go. Always, my family's like, what? You just won't stop. I'm like, no, we on to the next.
Yeah,
come back, on to the next. Always in plan mode. So this is actually, being in the UAE has been my time to just relax. I can breathe. In Saudi, I thought that was it. We tried to do the business license there, but we wound up losing money. So that didn't work. That's not what Allah wrote for us. So, alhamdulillah, Allah provided for us to come here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I wasn't going to stop. I said, I'm going to make Hijrah or die trying. That's it.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Wow, that's amazing.
No, I'm
Look
dead
at-
serious.
yeah.
I was like, it was a point where I was starting to feel very weary before I left. And I was like, oh, Lord, just let me get to the Muslim lands. I'll just die there because I can't. I'm not stopping. I cannot be here in this place.
Yeah. SubhanAllah.
It was choking me. You understand? And my children. And shaitan attacks you as well through your kids, family members. When you're growing and you're determined,
Yes.
people around you, they start trying to pull at you. They start trying to do things to you. You understand what
And
I'm
the
saying?
trials and the fitna comes.
Absolutely. And I had to keep my business to myself as well.
Yeah, of
Had
course.
to keep my business to myself because you have people who don't want good, or if they see you coming back and forth, because we unfortunately have a legacy of people who, when they fall on hard times overseas, they run back.
Yeah. Yes.
They run back, which, like I said, the things that I mentioned earlier about not being able to enter into society after their Islamic studies, they're like, okay, now what? They're going to leave. They're not going to stay there long term. You know what I mean? So that plays a part in why people leave, because it's like, where do I go now? Where do we go from here? Are we just going to rent apartments and eat and enjoy ourselves for the rest of our life? Like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
You know?
Living out of a suitcase.
You understand what I'm saying? So people need a way forward. UAE has it all. You can live your life. You can expand. You can go into different fields. You can be a normal person here. You don't have to worry about, oh, what's the way forward now? You don't have to do that. So that's why I love this place. You know what I mean? I love reward the rulers for what they put in place for the people and opening up the doors for everyone to come in. And there's no discrimination. They have set the groundwork for everyone to come in and get yours. Doesn't matter what your background is.
Alhamdulillah.
But yeah, that's a social death,
Yeah.
basically.
Understood.
Religious and social death.
Understood.
For me.
Alhamdulillah. and Jazakallah khair for the way you articulated that and delivered it. It was absolutely amazing. And I truly believe that the people will definitely understand that. Another question that I had is, like, can you give some advice to the Muslims in America, the female Muslims in America? Like, what advice would you give to the female Muslims in America, whether they're single? Yeah, if they're single or married, what is the advice you would give to them?
Regarding what?
Just in general, about Hijrah, about Islam.
Okay, that's
like
giving
that.
me something. Hijrah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Hijrah.
Put your trust in Allah first and foremost. Put your plan in place and execute. That's it. And be patient.
Yeah, patience.
Be patient. It's not an easy ride. You're going to be tested along the way.
Yeah.
And you don't get to choose how those tests come to you. Be patient. Make dua consistently, and keep your eyes on the prize until you get out. There are going to be challenges. Some people fall off. They just can't. They don't read signs correctly. They're not consistent in their dua. They don't want it that much, or they're very doubtful, or they include other people and they put doubts in their heads.
That's a big one.
Those are challenges. You know.
Yeah, I know. I know. I for sure I know. So the next thing that I wanted to ask, how is life in Ajman? Because you don't live in Dubai, do you? You live in Ajman. How is life in Ajman?
Ajman is calm. Ajman is calm. Ajman is the calm that I need.
Yeah, it's the calm you need.
Yes.
So people can see some of your YouTube videos to see a more insight about Ajman, because you've alhamdulillah, Allah Mubarak, you've covered a lot of information about Ajman and things like that. Quick one. What is the first step someone needs to do to like move here to the UAE? Like if someone want to come out here, like what's the first step they need to do? Like what is the first thing they need?
First step is to get accommodations.
But before you can get accommodation, what do you have to do?
No, so it's going to be temporary accommodations, whether you're in a hotel or you're in a monthly apartment, whether it's a hotel apartment or, Airbnb or whatever. You have to have your funds available to carry you over. And then the next step would be securing a visa.
But how much funds would one need? Visa. How much funds somebody need? Like,
if you're single, if you have someone to help you, like if you have someone to stay with, that will be great. If not, if you're single, you can rent a bed space or a partition. Those are they're going for like maybe $400 a month.
Okay.
Bed space. Bed spaces are cheaper than that, actually. I think about $250 US.
Yeah.
And a partition is like maybe $400 starting and above.
Okay.
Right? So for single people, that's what you should be looking to pay. If you're a family, you need to have some money.
Some money.
You
But
need to
give
have
a
some money.
ballpark. Give a ballpark. How much?
Ballpark. Okay, first of all, it's going to take about 2 months to get settled. So you have to put
True.
up 2 months worth of monthly expenses for a temporary apartment. What studios are very expensive, and it depends on which emirate that you're in. It's long. It's okay. So ballpark, to be honest, don't come with less than 30,000 if you are getting started and you're going to be here and you don't have any more income. It better be no less than 30. But if you have an income already, then you can, I would say 15, and you have money coming in. It's no problem.
15,000 what?
US dollars.
US dollars.
Yeah, not
US
dirham.
dollars.
Not dirham. With a family.
With a family, yes.
With a family.
$15,000.
I said 2
I can't
months.
remember how much that but I remember I had this listen, she's being honest with you guys, because the same thing she's saying to me right now is what was told to me back in the day. And I remember the number was like, I think it was 30 as well, like 15 to 30. Yeah.
I'm
So
serious.
the message is consistent. So, all right, I'm going to throw you a curveball. Hope you're ready for this one. Okay. How is single life here in Dubai?
How is single life in
Like,
here in
how
Dubai?
is it being single? Is there challenges? And like, would you be looking to get married to someone back from the States or what?
Single life is not challenging. Nobody bothers you.
Okay.
You know, I'm covered. So
Yeah.
the women who don't cover, they get bothered.
Yeah.
Sisters who don't wear niqab, if she's not wearing like makeup and trying to beautify herself, then she's not going to be bothered either.
Because you don't show yourself online, actually.
No.
Yeah. So this
But
is
I
actually
still-
the reveal, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. So but like, would you advise people, like, could people get married here in the UAE? Say, for example, someone's single, they come here, like, how can they get married for the sisters that's looking?
Well,
Or brothers?
there are the civil courts, and then there are the local courts, the Islamic courts. So it depends on what your nationality is, if you're a Westerner or whatever. Doesn't matter. If you want to go the civil route,
Yeah.
I don't really know much about that. But if you want to go the Islamic route, of course, you have to have the wali. You have to have the dowry present.
Yeah.
If you were ever married before, you have to have your divorce certificate, proof of your divorce.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to have your guardian's permission. If you don't have a guardian, then the courts will be your guardian.
Okay. The
But
Dubai courts here,
Yeah,
or the
Dubai
UAE courts? Wow.
Yeah, Dubai courts.
That's amazing.
Or whatever. Yeah, if you're in Ajman or whatever, wherever
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
registered at,
Okay.
wherever your visa is, that's where you would get married.
See, I think, look, I'm going to be honest. I think I heard you have like a little group, Telegram group or some kind of services where you help people like get married. Is that true? Where can they find that out?
I do. We have a marriage group. It's small because we have a Hijrah for the UAE group for the sisters that I started in 2020 for all of the sisters who wanted to come. They wanted information, you know, and marriage always comes up.
Of course.
Because
Even
a
with
lot of
myself,
single
it always
sisters-
comes up. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of single sisters, they come and they're like, I want to get married, you know, and there are sisters here who have raised their children here and they need to get married.
Yeah, 100%.
So yes, the sisters are looking for husbands.
Okay.
And
You guys hear that?
and I put, from my YouTube channel, I basically made a video about the sisters that are available. And for the brothers that are available. You got brothers looking for wives that live here and they want to bring the women here or marry the women that are already here.
Yes.
So I just tell everybody, whether they're male or female, do what's best for your hijrah. If you're a sister that's sitting in the West and you want to make hijrah to the Gulf countries, because it's not just exclusively for the UAE.
Yes.
If you want to make hijrah to the Gulf countries, then marry a brother that's already here.
Yeah, and I know many brothers who are looking for wives.
Yeah. And for the sisters that are already here, if a brother wants to come to make hijrah, the brother, he has money, but he doesn't know where to start. A good start is marry a sister that's already here.
Yes.
You could just maintain her and you guys can brainstorm about whatever you want to do.
And then you have the perfect setup.
Absolutely.
Here in this country.
Absolutely. And she knows the ground already.
Let's speak about this.
Boots on the ground.
Actually, we're gonna get real now.
I'm not talking about me, though.
No, of
just by
course,
the
of
way.
course,
I'm
of course.
just
But
saying.
let's get real. And even having children here, because my family, we've had a child here, and I remember around that time when we wanted to have the kid here. We had to get some advice on what we should do, if we should leave or we should stay. And actually, we wanted to say another Jazakallah Khan Barakallah Fi for your advice for us to stay. And alhamdulillah, worked out amazing. So so having a child here, like obviously, I'm not sure if you know, but someone could actually have a child here, right? I've done it, and then
Of course, yeah. The hospitals are great. You have really expensive ones, and then you have the reasonable ones. You can pay equivalent to $1,300 US, which is like 5,000 dirham.
Yeah.
Or you can pay. I heard of a brother. He had money, and he came in, and his wife was in labor. Took her to the hospital, just random hospital in Dubai. Because he had money, he didn't think. But they charged him 100,000 dirham.
100,000 dirham.
He had no clue it was going to be that much. So he had someone come and intercede, and they reduced it to 50,000. But he went to the wrong hospital.
Yeah, definitely.
He was a private hospital.
I don't remember
That's
paying
insane.
that much. I don't remember paying that much.
Of course not. I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, just because you have money, it doesn't mean that you should just jump in anywhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Wow.
Don't just jump in anywhere. You should ask some questions, but maybe perhaps it was spur of the moment. Of course, she's in labor, so they needed to deliver the baby. So,
subhanallah, that's So definitely, I think preparation or some kind of
research.
Thing,
well, that's why I do what I do.
Definitely,
that's
key.
That's why I do what I do. People need information. They need insight for people who are already here, because you're coming in blind. You don't know anything. You don't know anybody. That's another reason why I started the group and the channel, because I came here, I didn't know anybody.
Yeah.
Not a soul. And we were here for 2 years like that. But I felt home, so it doesn't matter.
Was that the hardest part?
Nah, it wasn't hard. It wasn't hard.
What is the hardest part?
The hardest part is just getting settled, feeling comfortable, feeling at home. You see people who have been here for years, and they're like, wow, they look so... I remember looking at this sister I was just telling my daughter this, walking in City Center Mall, and she looked so comfortable with herself. Like she was on the phone and just texting and smiling. The way she was walking and gliding, I was like, I want to feel like that.
Yeah.
She
may Allah make it easy. May Allah make it easy.
But alhamdulillah, no, I feel I'm comfortable now. But wanting to feel comfortable, people rush, and I watch people rush and buy things just to feel that comfort. And I'm like, you have to take your time. You can't feel what someone feels that's been here for 10 years. You can't move like they move.
Yeah, true.
They've been here. They've been through all of the beginning stages. You have to be patient, but they want to feel at home already. But that takes time. That's just reality. It takes time. You can't just feel at home overnight. You know, are you starting to feel comfortable, more comfortable now? Yeah.
Me? 3 years in?
Yeah.
I feel in the best, alhamdulillah, I feel like the best I've ever felt in my life. Wallahi, I feel the best I've ever felt in my life. And I'm so grateful to Allah. And I've said it many times on the previous podcast, but I'm extremely grateful. And, we're both here to, help others make the move here. And, just so we want you guys to know that we're here to help, honestly. There is a couple more topics that I wanted to touch before we end.
Sure.
One being the Islam, where can people seek knowledge here? Where can the kids learn Quran? And things like that.
Islamic studies can be learned at any of the masajid. There are some cultural centers as well, but of course, there are scholars and there are students. There are some students, major students of knowledge here that a person can go and seek knowledge with, but you have to learn the Arabic language.
Yeah,
that's reality. You have to know the Arabic language. The religion is in Arabic, point blank. So if you want them to maximize your benefit, you should learn Arabic. But if you can't, then who's teaching in English?
Here?
Yeah.
I think sometimes at Masjid Aisha, it's once every 6 months or something. I think Raha Bats comes out from he's my local imam from when I was in the States. Sometimes he comes, he translates
and
for
Mustafa George comes, right?
Yeah, sometimes.
Exactly.
Sometimes. So occasionally you have Talib al-Ilm from the West that come and translate and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. Or they give talks. Yeah, that's pretty
but
much
I think
what
the
English
brother
speakers are waiting for.
Mr. Sheikh, I don't know what to call him, Ustad Sheikh Mr. Faris Al-Hamdi. He does English.
The Emirati brother.
Yeah, he does English.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely he does English.
Okay.
But you know, at this time, when you get here, it's a must that we study Arabic. Like, you know, do you teach Arabic or no? No,
That's them days long gone.
long gone. Okay, I just
I
thought
help my
that I'll throw it
children.
out there, try to,
No, I help
you know,
my
see if we
children.
can.
I help my
Yeah.
children at first. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Yeah, them days were long gone. I
Long
used to
gone,
teach
long
Arabic
gone.
long time ago.
Yeah. So look, I almost forgot to ask.
But wait, let me finish about the what is
Okay.
it called? The centers, the Arabic, where to learn Arabic.
Okay, yeah, go ahead,
So
go ahead.
in Quran, the UAE has Arabic centers that are free, but you must be a resident all over, whether it's Dubai, Sharjah, or Ajman, Quran centers.
Yeah.
And you can register, but like I said, you have to have residency. And your children can just go learn. Or after Asr, like most of the Muslim countries, after Asr, the children go in the masjid, sit with the qari, whoever's there assigned, and they help the children. Like, you know, they have circles of halaqat of you know, Quran memorization. And you just send your kids. That's it, just like that.
Okay. Now, thank you for that. Now, the last and final question or topic before we wrap it up is, tell me about real estate, because you were here before me. You were here before me in 2019.
Yeah.
Tell me, how has Dubai been? Dubai. Let's talk about Dubai, because we're selling, renting, and everything.
Yeah,
You know
in
this.
Dubai.
In Dubai. Tell us how Dubai has been for the last 5 years and where you see it in the next 5. The 5 years that it's come from and the 5 years it's going. Tell us.
Okay.
And what services you offer? What do you have?
All right. So from my understanding, the previous years, especially what was that, the 2008 recession onward, there were not a lot of stringent laws in place as relates to developers. So you had people who were coming in here and scamming, setting up projects, collecting people's money, and then never finishing them and running off with the money. So, and even the quality of the buildings were not as good as they are now. People are seeing the difference. The developments are more sophisticated. You have more developers coming into the game who are bringing their expertise from Europe, you know what I mean, and from the West in general. And you have some excellent players in the Middle East as well. And they're collaborating with developers and engineers and architects who can better the quality of the structures because of the demand. You know, Dubai is a city of concentration for the rich. Millionaires and billionaires, you know what I mean? So you can't really feel special when you come here if you're a rich person. You're not going to feel special because it's for the rich.
Yes.
So in that regard, your investments are more protected, you know, based upon the changes and the adjustments and the rules that the UAE has set in place as relates to developers and how they have to put the money into an escrow and they can't access it until a level of the project is already developed and things like that. So people will still feel safe, you know, if anything defaults on the project, then people can get their money back. They have records and things like that. So I would say in that regard, structurally, then it's better. And as relates to the structures themselves, they're better.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Where do you see it going in the next 5 years?
Well, okay, let me finish with the current. It's absolutely booming.
Right now?
100%.
Oh, yes, it is.
So I keep up.
It is.
And if anyone wants proof, we can give you proof. We keep up on the transactions daily, as billions daily being spent.
Yes.
Billions daily. Not weekly, daily.
I know.
Okay? So for all of those individuals who like to say, oh, Dubai, the market's going to crash, the bubble and all of this kind of stuff, it's not the West. That's what y'all have to understand. It's not
At all.
the West. And this is still a developing country. It's not 100% developed. It's developing. There's room. There's more room for projects to pop up. They're building on, you know, lightning speed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's quality. The properties are quality. And people are coming in. You have to think nationalities from everywhere. The rich from everywhere.
Are coming here.
In droves and in waves. You know, sometimes the Russians, they come and they had their wave and then they died down. You got the Chinese, they come and then they died down. Then you got the Americans. The Americans are late, actually.
Yeah, the Americans late. Americans need to get out here. That's my message.
Y'all
Americans need to get here.
Yeah, but there's plenty of properties for you to buy, to invest in.
Yes, and your money's
every
safe.
nationality. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Your money is safe. 100%. 100%. So yeah, it's absolutely booming. You don't have to worry about that. Oh, well, which project? How do we know which project is which? Just talk to me. I'll let you know what are the hot areas, what are the up and coming areas. Yeah. Where's everyone there's investments everywhere. Yeah. Really, but we can give you insight on, because I've been on the rental side of it.
Yes.
So when you're dealing with the rental side of it, you know the habits of the tenants.
Yes, we do.
Where they want to live.
Yeah.
What are the income brackets of those who are living in those areas? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So if you invest in a property, you buy something, and then you want to flip it, or you want to rent it out, you can do so. It's going to get rented. People are snapping up properties like it's nothing, whether they're rentals or if they're buying them. Mm-hmm. So the market is absolutely on fire. And then what I see 5 years from now, I think it's going to keep booming, but it's going to level out.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Because people are moving here in droves, bit by bit. That's kind of oxymoron. Bit by bit in droves is oxymoron. But anyways, they're moving here. They're moving here. They're steadily moving here. You know what I mean? From different nationalities. And you get in while you can. But it'll level out, I think, in about 5 years, to be honest. Because the developers are cranking out properties like it's nobody's business. Yeah. Projects.
Okay, look. Right now, I have 1 million dirham. Where should I buy?
1 million dirham, you can get either a studio apartment or a 1-bedroom apartment.
Which location?
I would say, if you can, Business Bay.
Business Bay.
Business Bay is good.
You have something for me?
I have everything. Whatever you want.
I'm looking for a 1-bedroom in Business Bay. 1 million. You have something for me, and you can help me out. And my money is safe with you.
A 1-bedroom in Business Bay for 1 million? No, I can't necessarily say that. I have to check the inventory.
Yeah.
Because those are the lower properties, so they kind of go fast. The ones that are lower go fast. But there's always turnovers. There's always handovers, new projects that are actually opening, meaning like the developer has finished his project that he started 4 years ago. It's now opening this year. So you have new owners who are looking to resell the properties that they invested in. So there's always something available. So maybe not today, but tomorrow or next week or whatever.
Great. That's great to hear.
So,
That's great to hear. All right. So again, guys, this is absolute gems. I mean, I really appreciate you coming on here and dropping all this information for everyone. Is there any last bits that, maybe you want to get off your chest, or anything that you want to say, or if you have any questions for me before we wrap it up?
What I would like to say is, if you need consultation, we do consultation, whether it's Hijrah consultation or it is a real estate consultation. After that, I would say, if you have the ability to leave the West, leave.
Straight like that.
Leave. Get out of there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
When you get your affairs in order, leave and come to the UAE. It has everything that you need. You know what I mean? There are, of course, pros and cons to every society. It's pros and cons to the societies that we come from the West. So when you come here, be patient. This is not the West.
Yeah, definitely.
It is a melting pot. You want to hear accents. So please train your ears and be patient. You have to know that people are coming from different backgrounds, and you have to be patient with them. Yeah. They're not Western. They're not Western. We are not the majority. That's reality. So you got to be patient wherever you are. And that's basically,
that's it.
what I have to say, yeah.
Okay. So, Jazakallah Khan, Barakallah Feek. All of my bar guys, this was...
Wait, I'm Philly to Dubai on Instagram.
Yeah, go ahead. Shout your... Look into this camera. Look into this camera. Say it to that camera. Go to this camera. It's yours.
If you want to find me and see, some of my latest projects and things like that, you can find me at Philly to Dubai, PHILLY, the number 2, and then Dubai on Instagram as well as TikTok.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah,
Okay.
alhamdulillah. So yes, guys, that's where you can find her. Not necessarily guys, because the majority of my analytics is guys, but you can find her there for. And don't forget, guys, you can share this video with your wives, your aunties, your sisters, whoever, so that they can get this understanding about this place as well. Because it's very rarely that I get to, or even feel comfortable enough to bring on a guest who is a female to spread this knowledge and these gems about this region and business and real estate and things like that. So this is an absolute gift, guys. So again, alhamdulillah, that's pretty much it. So again, guys, I want to say, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to turn on your bell notification and leave all your comments and queries down in the comment section. And if you want to get the ebook, or you want to get the free ebook, or you want to set up a consultation call, you can go ahead and do that down in the description as well. And also, I'm going to be offering people a full-blown do it all for yourself. Everything from you coming out here, helping you get a job, helping you, training you in real estate, helping you set up your bank, finding your apartment, maybe even get them married as well. We'll go ahead and do everything for you, but that's the high ticket value prize that we have for you. But then again, guys, thank you so much. It's American in Dubai. And that's a wrap for the 8th episode of the podcast series, American in Dubai. Jazakallah khairan. Amazing. All right, guys. And also, this video is sponsored by UPod Studios here in Dubai. If you're interested in getting on a podcast for yourself, you can definitely come out here to these guys. These guys are absolutely amazing. I always receive amazing hospitality when I come here. I'm extremely comfortable here making my podcast. And I definitely wouldn't want to do my podcast with anyone else. So if you're interested to get yourself on a podcast, this is the place to do it.